Welcome back into the Speterverse. Sure, let's go with that. You've probably heard by now that Into the Spider-Verse 2 has been confirmed for April 8th, 2022. Yay, celebration, clapping and stuff. Sony, don't mess this up. From the moment that the first movie ended, and then when it was clear that it was successful enough to warrant a sequel, the possibilities for the follow-up seemed kinda endless, really. We have all these characters and then so many more who could potentially come in, and there's almost too many options for what you can do next. The movie made you really wonder what's next for these characters, like especially Miles and Spider-Gwen and Peter B. Parker, even though every Peter Parker is a Peter B. Parker, but whatever. And so in this general aftermath discussion of the movie, I've heard the question asked, like, how do you get all of these characters back in Miles' universe again? Miles. How do you make it not contrived that all of these characters had to show up in Miles' universe again? Especially after the portal teleport machine thing was stopped. I haven't seen the movie in a little while. And that's a logical question to ask because the logical thought process is that the sequel will follow Miles like the first one did. But what if it doesn't? As I'm sure you remember, the post-credit scene has Spider-Man 2099 with his own device where he can dimension hop on his own. So clearly we're going to follow up on Miguel and what he's up to. He clearly has the technology to make a sequel happen. So what if the movie follows him? Whatever mission he's on will almost definitely be the thing to bring all these spider people back together. So it would make sense to follow him on that mission. He has some big issue in his universe, a Spider-Verse level threat. So he's going around to recruit each different spider person he can find, so we go to their universes and get to see them more in their environments too. And that lets the less developed spider characters from the first movie to get that development and see them in their playground. And then of course we go to new spider people from other universes that weren't in the first one, all the while learning more about Miguel and getting us invested in him like we are in Miles. And we can continue to develop the characters who were more developed in the first one, like Miles, seeing his progression as his universe's Spider-Man, or Spider-Gwen, seeing how she's doing with her stuff. They didn't get too deep with her stuff, but they implied a lot. And to that point, they built her up enough to where she could be the main character of the next movie. She and the movie clearly left a lot of details on the table intentionally, with Gwen slowly opening up and you get some glimpses of her past, but not enough to really know exactly what's going on, especially if you're not familiar with the story from the comics. Really, they did a great job of making you care about her character without actually knowing that much about her, because what we did know was enough. You can imply a lot of the details. And then from those implications, then you can go forward and fill in the blanks. And that is inherently giving her more development as a character, letting her continue to open up. They set up her character to where she can drive the emotion of the continuing story, and where Miles can continue to develop on his own, and some of that can be implied just by him being more proficient as Spider-Man, and he'll still get some time as a high-ranking friend character. And Miguel is the guy who's bringing all these spider people together, still. So whatever direction they decide to go, I do think it would be a good idea for them to focus on someone other than Miles for this movie. Because if this is going to be a franchise, which I think it could be and maybe should be, there's nothing that says that Miles Morales has to be at the center of every part of it. Miles Morales was, I'd say, pretty well known, but not explosively popular before this adaptation and before Spider-Man PS4 did a good amount to separate him as his own Spider-Man, aside from just being black and Puerto Rican and having some details that are different. The common complaint that I heard was that Miles was never substantially different enough from Peter for a lot of people, but that changed with both of these adaptations being released around the same time. So if Sony wants a big animated Spider-Man franchise on top of their big live-action Spider-Man franchise that they want, focus on these other characters like you did with Miles. Expand their popularity too, because if you can make people love all of these different spider people the way they love, say, the members of the Avengers, then you can actually justify some more solo movies. And maybe do that for live action too, because I don't think anybody's gonna care about a Morbius movie, right? Right? Please don't. Well, anyway, thank you so much for watching. Like this video if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it, subscribe if you're new, hit the notification bell to let your speeder sense tingle when I upload. Let me know what you have in mind for Spider-Verse 2. Let me know what you think about my ideas, and I will hopefully see you next week.